because of the advanced technology that is here, like they have good materials that we can use, and their laboratory is good. So if I need maybe to develop a project, it will be easier.
Welcome to the Melanated Files. In this series, we highlight and share the stories of black people from across the globe. Remember to subscribe to this channel for weekly videos and also follow us on social media for regular updates. Let's get into the interview.
My name is Pacifique, and I'm from Rwanda.
So why China?
I've come to China because I've been selected by my government after my high school. They have taken people who had high grades in their secondary school to come and learn some technology in China. So because China was developing fast, so it was a good choice for them to bring students to learn from these Chinese people, and when they go back, they participate in the advancing of technology in Rwanda.
So is this a scholarship that's like specific to your country?
Yeah, it was a cooperation between Rwanda and China, so it was a scholarship. Yeah, they offered a scholarship.
All right, so you're here as a student, right?
Yeah, I'm here as a student.
Okay, so what's your major?
My major is computer science.
How long have you been in China?
Now I've been in China almost for 5 years. 5 years, yeah.
So what has the experience been learning ComSci in China?
What?
Sorry, we call it ComSci in Canada. It's a short computer science.
Oh, computer science in China was good, especially because of the advanced technology that is here. Like they have good materials that we can use, and their laboratory is good. So if I need maybe to develop a project, it will be easier. Maybe something I won't find very rich like in Rwanda, but here like they have some advanced machines that we can use even in computer science, and also there is some competitions that they have that are open also to foreigners, and that also helped me like to increase my skills and to see like how am I doing compared to other people who are in other districts or in other part of China. Yeah.
All right. So are you still studying right now?
Yeah, I'm still studying. Yeah, I'm still in my learning my major. I'm in the last year actually.
So do you study in Chinese or English?
I study in Chinese.
So tell me, like, what is your ambition for life in China? Like 5 years from now, where do you see yourself? What's your ambition for life in China?
I have like a dream, like I want to study really to the end, like to PhD. So now I'm doing my bachelor's degree. In 5 years I'll be finishing PhD. So but like now I don't think like I will stay in China to work here. I think like I will go back in my country and participate in the development of technology in my country, because I learned a lot in China. So I think like my country also needs some people who have seen that and then can really participate in the advancement of technology in my country.
How important do you think technology is in the development of a country or moving it forward?
It plays a very big role, I can say like that, because like what technology does, it's like it takes some complicated tasks that we used to do and it simplifies it. Like in like a matter of clicks, you are able to buy online and things come like right at your door, right? Whenever like you want maybe to take a taxi, you don't have to wait, right? And you just use your phone and then just call like a taxi and the taxi will find you. So it's like it shortens the time that we do things, right? It's like it takes those complicated tasks and make them shorter. So we save the time, yes, and we save the money too. Yeah.
Do you think technology is something that could be the key to moving third world countries forward?
I do.
So should more of the youth get into tech then? What would you advise?
Yeah, I really think technology plays a big role and can advance a country from like maybe the third to the first country, maybe in economy or in other industries, mainly because like maybe if I compare like where China is and what is like the leading factor that they have now, I can say that the technology is the key factor that now they have, because like you find that many people have ideas, right? But because of lack of the technology on a certain stage, those ideas can't be implemented. I will take an example of this Alipay. If you know, here in China, Alipay, it came as like a payment method. Like people can pay through it, but it's really opening because they have now an interface for people to pay. So most of the ideas will build above it. I can say like now there are Hello bikes, there are bikes that you can use. If there was no payment method, you can't have that because you're not going to see how people are going to pay that, you know. Like really like many businesses, let's say also about Taobao, for example. Many businesses are growing because technology is helping them to reach their customers easily. Even when you are in your home, you can sell things, you know. And if we buy and sell, then the economy is going to rise, actually, right? So yeah, I think if the youth, like many young people, join technology and see what they can do, implement their ideas, I think it will really help advance the technology in a country and the economy in a country. My program is kind of different now. Where we are now, we are 5 people. Yeah, but okay, it's a different program now because when I came, like the scholarship I told you that I came on, it finishes last year actually. It was of getting a diploma and not bachelor's degree. So, but because I want to continue my studies, I've looked for another school on my own to study 1 more year and get a bachelor's degree. So in my class now we are 5 people.
What do you like the most about China?
What I like the most about China is how the people are welcoming and they are very like they are open to know more about the people they see for the first time. I think when you're in China, you notice something. Like when you are in a place and the Chinese are there, they are really you see some that are going to come and try to start up a conversation. Where from? How is the weather in your country? Like they are kind of concerned about you. That will make you feel like yeah, you're not welcomed here, right? You are welcomed. So yeah, that's what I like about China. My favorite Chinese food is huamenji. It's they call like it's a yellow fizzle chicken. I don't know how maybe I can explain it, how it is done, but the reason why I like it is that it have chicken and it has some flavor of back home because it has some potatoes inside, and yeah, and mushrooms kind of, and the way it's cooked, it makes it delicious for me. Oh my God. I don't like the weather here. Like maybe winter or summer. Maybe it's because I'm not used to that. I was not used to that in my country. In my country, it's not, when it's like we don't have even winter, right? It's not really cold as here. And if it's hot, here if it's hot, it's really hot. If it's cold. It's really, really cold. But where there is like, when I think of my country, is like we have a nice weather. And maybe I can divide it like maybe there is a rainy season and a sunny season, like that, compared to China. That's how I can say.
What would you say is the general attitude towards black people in China?
Black people.
The general attitude in terms of the Chinese populace.
I think the general attitude about Africans, black people, like all the, you mean like black people all over, or Africans specifically?
Just black people all over.
Yeah, actually, about black people, I can say that there is like two different parts. When you're black people and you are from Africa, they will try to think that maybe you are not a good person, because the way they think Africa is wars and security, like with no peace, they also like say maybe it's because you're poor and that maybe you come here. But if you say like you are an American, although you are black, okay, they want like they don't like go deeper. They don't take you as Africans, as I say. They just give you a little bit of respect, yeah, above the Africans. That's how I can say.
Okay. What about you? Like, what's the funniest thing that happened to you in China as a black person? Any funny stories?
Okay, as a black person, is like once like I was going and sitting on a train, and like one guy came to me and they were saying, "Oh, how did you end up like this? Like, do you wash yourself?" Kind of that. And I was thinking, what? Okay, it's not funny, but like at that time I was thinking like, if do these guys know that there is different colors of people? Maybe because I didn't take it as an offense, but maybe I think about like they don't have a lot of knowledge about the outside China, because many Chinese will only have a conception of only their country. Most of them, they don't know like most of the things out of the world. Like okay, for example, if you another thing is that like they say, okay, where are you from? I'm from Africa. Oh, who is your president? What? Africa doesn't have one president. It's a continent, not a country, right? So Africa is composed of many countries. So yeah, I thought like that also was a funny question, but also to the same point, saying that they don't know many things outside of China.
Is there anything that black people could do here to improve race relations with the Chinese?
Yeah, what we can do is that let us not get annoyed so quickly, because really there are different cultures and there are different understanding of things. But let's first like admit it that we are black, and maybe like let's first approach them not in a way of maybe saying like, why did you say like that, but in a way like of correcting them. You say, okay, I know like maybe let's say they say maybe there is insecurity or stuff. They say, okay, yeah, there was an insecurity back in the days, but now it's changing. It's peaceful. Yeah, like that. So if you see like a misunderstanding in the Chinese, don't rebuke them directly, but just in a very good manner approach them and explain to them. Yeah, give them the knowledge they lack. The best advice I received was like, never complain about a situation, but be grateful and try to find a solution. That's what I I learned, and I've seen that it is possible, and it is true, and it applies to many different aspects of life, because life is full of ups and downs, and then it's a part of the game, it's part of life. So what matters is what you do about it. So instead of complaining doesn't take you anywhere. Just be grateful of what you have achieved, where you are now, and try to, if you can get a solution of where you are, just go for a solution, not a complaint. If you don't have a solution right now, be grateful of what you have achieved, and be cheerful, and you live at peace.
How do you get your haircut in China?
When we came here in China, we were a team of 30 people. So we had different skills. So one of the 30 guys was able to do that job. He was a barber, so he could help us in that field. And where I am right now, there is also another guy from Zambia who is good also at barbering, like hair cutting. So when I need a haircut, I look for those people, like the people from my region there. I miss my family, and also I miss the dishes in my country, you know. Like when my mom, the dishes that mom cooked for me was far different from the Chinese food I eat here. Although like with 5 years I've been used to them, but I know like it's not that quality. I won't like it to the same level as back home. So yeah, I miss my family, yeah, and then the dishes home.
If you could change one thing in the world, what would it be? Anything?
I think I would change the minds of people to think more of unity than separation, than division. Like, because I've seen strengths of working together, but I've seen also the bad stuff that comes from division and conflicts.
Would you say life in China is hard for a black person?
Okay. I think it will depend on their financial status. If you don't have like a financial source, it's gonna be hard, because here, let's say on a perspective of a student, you can't work in China because you are on a student visa, so you are not allowed to work here. So if you were here in China and you don't have a financial support, you don't have a scholarship, you are on your own, it's gonna be hard in terms of money, I think, because things here are a little bit, I'm saying maybe towards maybe those people from countries that are not this developed like China. So things might be a little higher than in your country, in their countries. So I think it will be harder for the people who doesn't have financial support.
Who is one person, dead or alive, that you'd like to have dinner with, and why?
I totally miss to have dinner with my dad because I've been here 5 years without going back. I really miss home, and I would have dinner with my dad, because when I'm with my dad, like, he tried to give me some advices and wisdom, and share some story that really builds me up. So, and you know, it's good when you're in dinner and it's not so much pressure on him. Then that's when it really gets good and touches my heart at that time.
What's the most challenging part about being a computer science student in China? What do you find to be the most challenging thing about being a student here, studying what you're studying?
In the first place, it's a challenge in any major because of the language, especially for me who is studying in Chinese. I've learned 1 year of language of Chinese, I've learned it and I've got good marks. But when I switched to my major, you know, in class you will learn how to go in a restaurant, order food, how to take a taxi. When you arrive in class, they go deeper now in your major. They start to use professional words, and you didn't like encounter them even in your language class. So it's going to be difficult. Actually, first it's the language barriers that is in there, and even let's say computer science, you don't leave computers, right? But all the computers, they are in Chinese. So even the knowledge that you had, it will be difficult to use them, because now you'll be saying, okay, this is a software that I used, but it's way more different because it's in another language. I don't know where, like, how to do the stuff that I do now. But okay, but you get used to it after knowing, like after spending maybe 1 year or 2 years in your major. Now you are like let's say me, I've been able to listen maybe 90% in my class after 1 year and a half or almost 2 years, kind of, after studying my major.
What's your proudest accomplishment so far?
In terms of education, I'm really grateful for God opening me a way to study bachelor's, because it was not easy, like, to go from the degree I had to the bachelor's degree, because in China there is no such program for foreigners. You like to go from the degree, associate degree, I mean, to the bachelor's degree. So I've gone to many schools, and then they say, oh no, you have to start over. So I was imagining myself, what? Should I study bachelor's for 7 years? But at the end, like 2 schools have like signed agreements, and they somehow like got me enrolled, like, to do 1 year and get a bachelor degree. So I will get a bachelor degree in this June. So this, to me, is a big accomplishment, because with a bachelor's degree, it opens another door to master's degree, to PhD, and that time I was having good grades in school, but without that paper that you are a bachelor, it was not doing anything. But now that I'm in bachelor's, yeah, I can at least present that paper and present those outstanding grades, and it really mean anything. And it's also a part of my dream, like where I'm going. Yeah.
What's your earliest memory?
My earliest memory is when I was still a kid, and the very face I remember is when we were moving to another place, and we were just arriving to a new place when I was home, and then I kind of sat on the luggage that people were carrying, and my mother told me, no, don't do that, because it's just like you're not respecting those people who were carrying that luggage to come a long way to help us here. So that's the first thing. That's where I remember that I started to live in this world. Yeah.
What's one thing that China does really well that the world can learn from?
Commitment. These guys are really committed. Whenever, no matter what profession, if the guy says like, I'm going into this, he's really into it, and he will put all the strengths he has. He will work hard for, like, many Chinese that I've met, like, where they are really committed to bring the best from themselves. They will be on time. They will, or like almost all the time, they will be on time to finish the tasks. They will be open to the new ideas to try in their fields. So I see like they have a really committed heart, a committed heart in themselves. Yeah. Another thing that the Chinese do well is business. They really do business. They know like how to hunt even that that one box that is missing. Like they really know how to create jobs even in themselves. Yeah, so they are really good at business. In visiting, the favorite place I know, and like my favorite place here in China, I'll say is Hanzhou, where there is that lake Xihu. I don't know if you have been there. Like there is a lake there in Hanzhou that is called Xihu. It's really beautiful. So I've gone once, but I loved it, especially when there is a sunset. You can take really good pictures and you enjoy. There are a lot of people. You can go in a boat, and when they are carrying you, like you are in the boat, they kind of explain what was the background of this lake. If you understand Chinese like me, you will be getting the background history of that place. Yeah, and you can even try to ride your own boat. Yeah, you have fun there. If you go with friends, then it will be fun. Yeah.
Any advice for people who want to learn Chinese?
Okay, if you want to learn Chinese, then you really want to be committed. That's the first thing, and you will want to love what the new languages the new language that you are going to learn. And another thing, you are going to be open to speak to people around you and not be afraid of making mistakes. Because in Chinese you can make a lot of mistakes. They have these kind of tones. You can say one word and you mean a different thing. But yeah, like if you're not afraid of mistakes and you are really open to go and talk to the Chinese and practice what you have learned, it's okay. Yeah, you will progress. And another thing that really helped me to learn Chinese, there is also a show that was on YouTube. One was Growing Up with Chinese. It has been created by an American, and another one is Traveling Chinese. Yeah, it's been made by a guy called Da Shan. Yeah, it really helped me. Like there are series, they build up like from simple Chinese to more difficult, like more advanced Chinese, and they will cover a lot of topics and some cultures in the background. So yeah, it really helped me that way. And after watching that, I could go and use what I learned with the Chinese around me. Yeah, I remember that time I was not afraid of doing mistakes, of like starting up conversation with the Chinese, and it really went well. Actually, sometimes I sit and I look back and I say, what? Like, was I speaking that long when I didn't even have so much knowledge in Chinese? Like, but it's good to go and try to have a conversation, even though you are not good in the language, but that's how you build up. 我是一个很勇敢的学生, like I'm a very courageous student.
What's a common misconception about China?
When you say misconception in China, the first thing that comes in my mind is this made in China thing. Like back in our country, like there's some misconception like that everything made in China is like fake and stuff. But when I arrive in China, like I've seen that it's different. Like actually it depends on the price. Yeah, and on the quality. They really have good qualities, but they are expensive. So so they have a saying in Chinese like 好货不便宜, means like that, like you can't find a good quality product with a cheap price, right? So if you want quality things, then you pay more. But if I told you they are good in business. If you want also the product that could fit your price, they make one for you. Yeah, so that's how things are. Yeah, but I think it's a misconception, like saying like everything that is made in China is a fake product, is a bad quality product.
Any advice for black people looking to study here, move here, live here?
Okay, I can give them advice. Those people who want to come in China, I can give them advice like not to be afraid to come. Personally, I've not made many, counted many racism in here. Like I can say that they come, but with the perspective that there is different cultures, and maybe some people might even not know maybe there's a lot of knowledge about them. So like don't take everything as an offense. Yeah, but try to simplify things, not complicating things. I think for me on my side, I've not seen racism here in China. Yeah, so I can say the door is open. It's not difficult here in China to live in. Yeah.
If the world was listening right now, what's one message you would share?
I can say that life is too short to worry about ups and downs. I can say that you just go and try something that you really wanted to do, but maybe you had some obstacles. Like have the courage to go do what you want, and don't underestimate anyone, because anyone can be of your help that you didn't expect to. So yeah, value people, do what you really want to do, what you love, and spread the love to people, like do good to people. Yeah, the first thing I heard was like, okay, let's say like people don't pray here. That's the first thing like I heard, and terrifying. Like when you arrive here, like you are not going to pray anymore, right? But you know, you can still gather together as foreigners and pray, you know. That was the first thing. And sometimes of course there is some it's like in public it's prohibited, especially when you are with the Chinese people, about religion is prohibited for you, but you can still gather with your foreigners and still worship God and do what you want.
What's something that you do really well that most people don't know about?
What maybe many people doesn't notice for me, like is that I can use technology to solve like some real like problems that are happening, and like first I love that I have that zeal to develop solutions in that of problems that are here, but a technology solution, and I have things that I did myself to solve those problems, but maybe most of the people don't know it or know about that.
Where can people find you online?
You can find me on Facebook, you can find me on WeChat, and sometimes on Instagram. Yeah, on Instagram is Pacifique. Same with WeChat.
Thank you so much for watching. If you would like to share your story or have us visit your region, send us a message on any of our social media platforms or via our website.
That's good.